with that in mind, there's plenty of people here that represent both schools, so we'll start with our first speaker, and as we introduce him, I want to ask anybody that's an Archbishop Rummel graduate to stand up right now, just to give you some sort of perspective. Stand up. I'm standing too, right? Graduate of St. Charles Catholic, where he played multiple sports. He played college baseball at UNO. I watched him play, called a few games. He got a hit or two occasionally. So he was an excellent baseball coach at Archbishop Rummel for a decade. He led the Raiders to a pair of state championship game appearances. He's in his 19th year at Rummel, now serving as his 6th year as head football coach of the Raiders. And in 2019, he led Rummel to the school's 3rd state championship with an unbeaten season. Rummel plays at St. Paul's in Jamboree action this Friday evening. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to Coach Nick Monica of Archbishop Rummel.
Like Kenny said, I'm going to start off, say a couple words about Ed. You know, to me, the most impressive thing about Ed is it never looked like he was at work. Everything he was doing looked like he loved. He loved high school athletics. He loved football. And he was always trying to make a difference, make an impact on not just the kids, but just trying to improve everything. And you know, he's just a guy that's going to be missed. And I said the other night that it's rare nowadays, but he's one of the few guys that you can't find anybody that would say a bad word about him. And you know, again, that's rare in this day and age. So he's going to be missed. And I think Friday Night Football, when everybody puts on their TV first Friday this year, it's going to be a little different. And you're going to realize how much we miss him. So, well, I got one correction. This is actually year 20. Ken, so yeah. So, right, who's counting? So this is year 20 for me at the school, 6 as the head coach. And, you know, each of the 6 years now we've had I have yet to have the same staff. And again, just one of the challenges that you have to face nowadays. I know it's in college, but it's flattering because, you know, it means that you're hiring the right people and some good coaches, and they want to come to your school to poach them and, you know, give them promotions. But at the same time, it's been a challenge to find good replacements and guys that want to work a lot of hours for no money. So it's been a challenge, but we've been able to do that. And you know, we're returning 7 starters on offense. We have our quarterback back from last year. Last year when we entered the season, we had a low quarterback competition. And week 4, one of the many injuries we suffered, one of the quarterbacks tore his labrum. He's also returning, and actually very similar to Coach. We're going to have some different things where we're going to be able to put both of them on the field and you know, play to both of them skill sets. So that's going to be something that's very, very beneficial. They're both seniors, so they've both been on the field quite a bit. For the first time in a long time, I feel like we have some size up front on the offensive line. We returned 3 starters up front, and you know, have a couple younger guys that look like offensive linemen for the first time. So very excited about that. We have 2 running backs that one of them, you know, has 2 years of starting experience under his belt, and we have a sophomore that's going to be pretty talented as well. So those guys are going to split carries. And our most explosive guy on offense is a receiver. He's a low runt. In fact, I think he's not even tall enough to ride the roller coaster at Disney World yet. But he is very explosive in Kendrick Joseph, and he does special things with the ball in his hands, so we're excited about him. On defense, actually didn't even know this until this morning. I was doing the math, but we got 8 starters coming back, and it doesn't feel that way because a lot of these guys were forced into action last year with some of the injuries that we had to deal with, and you know, now they're starters, but we're still pretty young on the defensive side as far as, you know, grade level. And, you know, we'll have 3 or 4 seniors out there with them. But we do have 8 starters back, and a lot of our experience is at the defensive line. And then in the secondary, you know, we have a couple of 3- and 4-year starters at those 2 positions, which should be beneficial for us. And we're going to lean on those guys heavily. Like Ken said, we start the Jamboree on Friday. And that's the first of a 11-game gauntlet that's just going to be pretty brutal. In fact, it's so brutal, I was actually hoping Ms. Benson would be here. I was going to try to swap schedules with her because I think I'd rather play theirs. It's the challenges of scheduling nowadays is pretty tough. after calling 60 to 70 schools in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Arkansas, you don't find too many people that want to play. And we start the season with Lafayette Christian, who has played in 7 straight state championships. And then week 2, we play U-High, who's a state semifinalist from last year and is ranked nationally currently. And then week 3, we play the Shaw in the Megaphone game, who was also a state semifinalist. And, I would think most people would argue belong in the Catholic League. So that would basically give us an 8-game Catholic League schedule. And then after that, we're gonna roll right into District 9. And I think all 8 teams in the district would probably rank in the top 20 in the state. I think that's pretty fair to say. And it's compared to the SEC a lot of times because you're going to get these matchups every week that they're going to draw a lot of attention. The media loves it, the fans love it, the kids love it because they don't know any better. And then you pick up the phone every day and you get a call from a district coach, and Ryan will tell you this probably in a second, and we're beating our head against the wall trying to figure out how we're going to survive this. So I think the only hope is just that it's best for high school football and it's best for this league if all 8 teams can find a way in the playoffs, because that's where we all belong. We're all good football teams, and I don't know if our records are always going to show that until you get a chance to prove that in the playoffs. And it would just not be good for high school football if we're beating up on each other weekly, and you have some of these other schools that get to play in weaker districts and are able to host playoff games and advance in the playoffs. And so we're in that, since we're all in the same boat here, we're all kind of sticking together in terms of that, unless we're playing each other. So, but that's it, and thank y'all, appreciate it.